And as we've been saying all day, Edgbaston's been turned blue today during this one-day international. It's the last ever Blue for Bob Day. The final campaign, Blue for Bob 6 and Out, celebrates the life and legacy of Bob Willis, one of England's greatest fast bowlers, a much-loved broadcasting colleague and an unmistakable voice in cricket, of course. Well, Bob died from prostate cancer in 2019. I really can't believe I'm saying that. And since the first Blue for Bob Day in 2021, the cricketing community has helped the Bob Willis Fund raise more than £2.2 million for prostate cancer research, awareness and support. I'm really pleased to say that here in the box, two people who of course knew Bob so very well, his wife Lauren, Baron Botham of Ravensworth, also sitting, a rather imposing figure sitting beside me. Put that there, Ian, and well, appropriately a blue one as well. But lovely to see you both. On always, it must be a poignant day, Lauren. Let's start with always. This day must be such an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, it's a complete honour to be here with you two. But yes, it's an emotional roller coaster. I sort of hate it now, and we've just got to get it done, and it's 6 and out for us, and we feel that we've done our bit for prostate cancer, and most importantly awareness. I mean, a lot of people now know that they've at least got a prostate, and so we're really proud of what we've managed to achieve, and I thank Bob for being the most wonderful man that he was, that everybody has helped us so much.
Yeah, well, you've kind of possibly, I mean, just correct me if I'm wrong, but answered the question there. I was going to say, why have you stopped doing it? And you simply feel that you've just got to finish this, do you?
Yeah, I mean, Bob's daughter Katie's been involved, and she wants out, and she'd done a lot of the sort of legwork in the last couple of years, because I can't really handle it. So between us, I think we don't really want to hand it over to somebody else. He was ours, and we need to protect him. He didn't ever ask for this. He didn't know we were going to do this. Yeah. And I think I think he'd be really proud of what we've achieved, but we have to protect him.
Yeah, and do you as a person need to move on? Is that part of it? Part of the whole grieving thing kind of comes around every year?
I'm a bit concerned that it's going to be a new grieving process for me. You can't move on from this, but you can move forward. So I don't know what the future is going to be, but I'm going to take Bob on some new journey.
Oh, wonder where he'd like to go, Ian. Some
Windy Hills winery.
I think you're probably...
We used to go up there most, in those days it was proper cricket, wasn't it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
The rest
and
day.
Then rest day, rest night and next day. And then back to finish the game. But no, Bob and I used to, we pioneered it really. A lot of guys go and play golf on the rest day, or they go swimming down at the beach and all that. Bobby and I used to go and have a lunch with a few of the guys in the wines we knew, had got to know.
Yes.
And you go up there and we used to have a few glasses and a barbecue going. And it was great round the swimming pool. Yeah. That was the first year. Then the second year there was about 8, or second tour, there'd be about 8 of them up there. And then by the last one we did, I can remember with Bobby and I, there was about 30 odd people there, in which both teams had about 50-50 people.
Is that right? It's a proper party.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great. There was good humour. And who needs a match referee when you can sit around the pool, have a beer, a glass of wine, whatever you want, and just let it all hang out. Yes. Go for it.
Yeah, that's lovely. What do you think Bob would have made of this? Lauren was saying that he'd be proud. I mean, he was a very unassuming man, wasn't he, Bob? I mean, I wonder what he would have thought actually about all this in his name.
I think he'd be very proud. He initially probably would have been a bit embarrassed. Yeah. Why me? What have I, But no, I think he'd be very, very proud of what the family have achieved. And as Lauren said, there comes a point where you suddenly think, can we do any more? Do we need to do any more? And we've already gone through that stage. We're going through that stage now. We're looking to wind down the foundation, which has been going for 40 years, something like that. Shows you how bloody old I am.
I was going to say that, Ian.
You're not far behind, I guess.
No, I'm not.
But no, I think if you have the opportunity, and Bob had the opportunity and through what he achieved, and the very first thing we did was the very first walk, and we had no conception, no idea what we were going to do. Discovered very quickly that Vaseline's essential.
All right, okay.
But I mean, seriously, when you're walking at that pace, 5 miles an hour, and you're doing 30 miles a day, you have to look after yourself. And but But no, that springboard came from the game playing cricket.
Yes.
So it gave me the opportunity to get out there and get the public to support us, and they were magnificent.
Yeah. People do rise to it, don't they, Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you think? Above the 2.2 million, which of course is a lot of money, what else do you think that you've done over this time as far as prostate cancer?
the most important thing is raising awareness. And because 2.2 million is just a drop in the ocean for what you need to even get a national screening programme.
Yeah.
So it's the awareness. I've sat today with interviewing Ian Ward and Nasser Hussain, and I think Michael Atherton's also having a test. While they're having a PSA test, and
you made me have one on the air here last year.
Exactly.
I've just seen her outside
with the most hilarious doctor
She's
ever.
brilliant.
What a
John
thought.
Major sitting beside me, of all people. It was a bizarre. But anyway, yes, the idea being that actually there's nothing to a PSA test.
No, I mean she did all three in about 10 minutes, and and it was fun, and
As long as you can get one, though.
Yeah.
I railed against this last year. Where I live, it is not easy to actually have
No.
it. Even at my age, 66,
Unfortunately.
not easy to have one.
no, that's wrong. I think that if men are brave enough to go and ask for one, they should be given one. But unfortunately, you have to sort of say you've got some symptoms. And as Jyoti was just saying earlier, that if you've got symptoms, it's taken quite a long time to get to those symptoms. So, it's probably serious by then. So that's not the answer.
No.
Well, I spent half the year or thereabouts in Australia every winter, and the one thing that I do when I first arrive is I go and see my doc, and he takes 3 vials of blood out of you, and that's at midday on Monday, and midday Tuesday you've got all the results.
Right. Okay.
Now that's the difference, and that makes confidence grows. You feel great, and every test you want, all skin cancer, which is obviously very prevalent in Australia. So I just think that making people understand. And there's an element of embarrassment about having, not now so much, but prostate checks. And some men just can't deal with that.
Do you have the full check?
But you don't have to have that
No.
at the first stage.
She offered me that on the air last year,
Yeah.
and I declined.
She
if I'm
left
honest.
her gloves behind today, so they were quite
goodness for
relieved
that.
about that.
No, but so you don't have to have that.
No, I don't
It
think you
is
do
just
have to have
simply a
that.
case of
And I
getting
think
rid of
it's
the blood.
much more important to. And I think the PSA test is extremely unreliable, but it's the only thing we've got at the moment. So
Do you say that on knowledge?
yes,
Or do you say that
well, it was very
on hearsay?
unreliable for Bob, and I'm not.
Right.
I mean, when I say that in front of experts, they agree with me. But the way that it can be reliable is for you to get your own level and then have another one a year or so later and compare them. And if it's risen, then that's your danger rather than just it seems to me it's a rather random number at the moment.
Yes. So you have a test, you have your own number, 0 point something hopefully.
Yeah.
And as long as that stays there, then that's reliable.
Exactly.
If it suddenly spikes, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where I am my age, I have every year, for instance, prostate and the bowel, and just to me, it's common sense.
Yeah.
And I don't understand people when they've got that opportunity that they turn it down.
Yeah.
And then you read terrible cases. Oh, we're at stage 4. Well, once you get to stage 4, there's very little that can be done, if anything.
Yeah. Tell about Bob the Man, you two, both in your different ways. The fast bowler, first of all. I mean, what will you remember? What do you remember about Bob, Ian?
Look, when I played my first test at Trent Bridge, as we walked out onto the pitch, he came up behind, put his arm around me and said, "Beefy, you're here because you can do it."
Right.
And that, to me, was a magnificent thing for someone of his experience to come and say that to me. And that was the start of a really good friendship. We shared the new ball for many, many years. People didn't realise how quick he was, and he got bounce. But for me, the thing I enjoyed most was his company. His sense of humour, very dry.
Yes.
Our love of wine and food, and we spent a lot of time. So I couldn't do that with half the team, but Bob and I struck it off, and encouragement, Time spent telling you, don't bowl there, you idiot. You know what you can do. And I learnt a lot. I learnt a hell of a lot. And a lot of that goes down simply to Bob.
Yeah. Very unorthodox, wasn't he? And yet there have been two. I wonder if you can name them. I bet you can't. I'm not going to challenge you on this. I've seen two non-bowlers get test wickets doing a Bob Willis impersonation.
Ram Gooch.
In that case, if he did, that's three. Guy didn't see. Okay, I haven't seen that one. You can go in with Gucci, and I can believe that Gucci probably would have done that.
He did quite a bit.
There's two others. Alistair Cook, a horrible one.
Oh.
Rohit Sharma caught down the leg side at Trent Bridge. But it was the arm pumping, the ridiculously long run, and another one was your mate in Calcutta, a totally dead game. You weren't on the tour. When India batted for about 3.5 days.
As they did most times over there. Yeah.
Alan Lamb was thrown the ball, and from the boundary edge he came tearing in, doing a full Bob Willis impersonation, and got Manoj Prabhakar LBW. And Richard Ellison, who bowled about 60 overs in the game, was in the bath like that, and I was 12th man. He said, "What was that noise?" And I went out and said, I can't tell you, Richard. He got about 0 for 130.
Yeah, Lammy had an advantage because it could never bounce over. You can't deliver it from about 18 inches off the ground.
Well,
that's where the arm is.
He came screaming in with the ball, but we all know the Bob Willis run-up, don't we? We all know it.
Yeah, it was very unorthodox, wasn't it?
Yes.
Sort of,
Yeah. And his love of Dylan. Bob Dylan, that
goodness.
should drive me mad. I went to so many Bob Dylan gigs in various parts of the country, and on occasions, not one night, 2 nights, 3 nights in a row.
Really?
And I'm
Same gig, same music.
same venue. In the end, you sort of, it gets in your head after a while, and you start singing it. I'm thinking, no.
Well, he listened to Bob Dylan every single day of his life, and he died. Luckily, I sort of remembered at the last minute and played Positively 4th Street at the end, and I think his last breath was at the end of the song. It was quite amazing.
Dear, that's kind of what was it? What was about his music? I wonder that Bob latched into.
Bob was very deep,
Yes,
and something. I mean, he loved Wagner as well. I mean, I can't do Wagner. I went to one with him. I went to
I love
Parsifal.
Wagner.
Do you?
I'm a Wagner man.
Okay, so I went to see Parsifal with him.
Right.
5.5 hours.
I'm glad to hear.
Oh, so relieved.
Even the speeded up version.
So relieved when it ended. And he's just absolutely captivated.
Gets immersed.
Yeah.
Immersed in it all.
Yeah.
And what about at home then? Was he the same sort of character at home? Was he quiet and feet up in front of the telly?
Yeah. He was needy.
Oh.
He would say to me, "How are you going to entertain me today?"
Oh, really?
Yes.
Don't raise your eyebrows like that.
No, not in that way. He was just. We had a complicated getting together, but when we were together, it was just the absolute best. He was so loving, absolutely hilarious. Had a nickname for absolutely everything, and we just really understood each other and liked doing the same things. Like, I don't like beaches either, he sands a design fault, and he's very opinionated.
Yes.
I like the same wine as him. I mean, I suppose you grow to.
Haven't got any choice.
No, exactly. Tell me about when he started his commentating, and he was quite sort of laid back, sort of quiet commentator, wasn't he? His observations. He went off, and he came back as this, like the chainsaw, in The Verdict, him and Charles Colvin, and Bob would he'd be just hacking down everything. Was that a kind of a tactical thing where he went away and thought, right, I'm going to have to?
I think that he's quoted as saying that he realised that he wasn't going to make a career in broadcasting if he was just too nice and said, he was unlucky to get out and that sort of stuff. He did an interview with you and Jimmy and Stuart where he said that, so he had to get his chainsaw out and cut them off at the knees.
I think he meant it, Ian. I mean, he could be quite a savage on that, couldn't he?
Yeah, but look, everything when someone sits there and puts a plastic nose on like this, and then puts a judge's wig, it's hard to take that particularly seriously.
No, it is.
And I genuinely think that Bob did it because it was his humour.
Yeah,
and
he enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, and also I remember at Trent Bridge where Joe Root and the boys called him up, and he went in there, and they all had the wigs on and things when he came in, but Joe Root certainly did.
Yeah.
They actually warmed to him straight away because he could see that it was his humour, and then he would go and talk to the boys. Bowlers would start to come to him, which is great. And at first he was in danger of isolating himself, but it wasn't by the end.
People always remember Headingley 81, and you'll be bored to death of talking about it. People do tend to remember your contribution there, particularly, possibly even more than Bob's. Is that a fair comment? I mean, did Bob ever feel that? I mean, people always talk about Ian Botham, Headingley 81, and yet Bob, Bob's bowling won the game in the end. Did he ever feel that was like that or not?
Oh, all the time. He used to give me so much stick. I mean, there was no...
Bob wasn't like that.
You were between the two of us.
But it's bound to be that competition.
Yeah, and it was. And he also batted well in that game. He hung around, which was important to get a total. Well, it wasn't really a total. We 130 or whatever it was to chase down. But then they did the same in the next test at
Edgbaston here, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Did you ever, when you're having a glass, talk about that game particularly, the two of you together?
No, apart from the party we had at Headingley on the rest day. We had a big marquee at our house, and we had a pie.
Was that the wheelbarrow incident?
There was a wheelbarrow incident. There's also the...
what was it? Sorry, just rewind. What was the wheelbarrow incident?
I can't remember it.
Oh, come on. You can't leave it dangling.
He actually, a couple of the boys got wheeled out in wheelbarrows.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it really wasn't that complicated. Not by that time in the morning.
Fair enough. Okay, well, you've brought that subject up, Ian, for the last few minutes here. You'll have been following what's been going on with the test team and everything else. What do you think at the moment about the current sort of image of English cricket? Does it concern you?
Yes, it does concern me. I actually feel for those people. I'm working in Australia on radio and what have you, and you see the ground, you see the support for England, and most of the ground would have been 60-40 English supporters. They've gone over there, and those grounds are much bigger than anything we've got. MCG 100,000, and you go there, and then I think these guys have saved all that money for all those months to come out and enjoy a summer in Australia and the Ashes and a combat. Again, it's not a walk around, it's combat, it's gladiatorial. And it wasn't. No. And I felt so sorry for those people who'd spend all that money and they were trying to do things. I remember one family in tears, the children in tears. I was getting into the lift in the hotel, and I said to them, well, they said to me, what can we do? What can we do? I said, look, embrace Australia, because you're in a country that has probably one of the best sporting records of all time, and enjoy it. But the kids didn't want that. The kids wanted to see cricket. They want to see their heroes running around, and they didn't get that. And that was what saddens me. Do you want people to come through the turnstiles? You've got to perform. Yeah. You've got to give them something back.
You've got to be prepared to perform. You've got to do the hard work first, haven't you?
Well,
you've got to learn your lines in an acting sense.
Well, as we know, I mean, Michael Vaughan and we don't know what we're talking about. A couple of old has-beens. But I
didn't think you'd take that very well when he said that.
Well, actually, no. But one thing's for sure, though, Ben, if you're listening, congratulations. You've joined the club. You're now a has-been.
Well, there you go. Where does it go from here? I mean,
I'm going down to...
I know where you'll be going.
Celtic Manor.
Where does English cricket go? I mean, no captain, no coach. It just seems such a...
Breers, I've had Breers conversations with him. He's still looking pretty good, Breers. Get him out.
You think as well? Have you got any thought about how it does? I mean, when you actually have lost both together, and you got the Ashes coming next year, I mean, where do they look outside? Have you got any thoughts about the coach? Would you think someone like Andy Flower, for instance, who people have talked about a lot, do you think he would actually take this job with all the spotlight, all the pressure, when actually he's got a couple of nice franchise jobs going? I mean, it's a big ask, isn't it?
The coach that I admired the most, and he was coach and assistant manager in those days. We weren't an entourage of 40 odd people. We were an entourage of about 16, 17 people. And the late Kenny Barrington was magnificent. And one of the things I think the boys took to straight away was the fact you never heard Kenny say, "in my day." It was always relevant. He wanted the boys to do well. The rest of the coaches, as far as I'm concerned, those guys used to take you to the ground. Yeah, all aboard the coach, off we go.
That was Shane Warne's line, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Warne. But he's absolutely right, because sometimes the coach can be there, but he's got to be there for the right things. And for me, if anyone else could do it like Kenny Barrington, get hold of them quickly.
Yeah, because we of course played really as a time. I mean, certainly counties had no coaches, did they?
No.
And how that authority kind of balances.
Well, when you've got Brian Close as your captain, when you're a youngster and you first go in, you're not going to say anything. Actually, you're not going to say. But he will tell you exactly what he thought you did wrong.
Yes.
And then after that, he'd put his arm around your shoulder, take you over to Stragglers, little bar there, as you know well, at Taunton those days. And in the summer, sit there and he'd say, right here, now I'll talk to you through what I'm talking about. And it'd be a 3 or 4 minute conversation, forgotten, done. Let's get on with tomorrow.
Is there any part of the mentality of the last 4 years? I mean, in the first 2 years, that team that was pretty broken, wasn't it? When McCullum and Stokes took over, it was rock bottom. There was some very exciting cricket played those next 2 years. Is there any part of that you'd like to see or live on with whoever does come in and change? I mean, do you think that mentality is good, albeit at least with some checks on it and some common sense applied?
Well, look, if you go back through the history books, I think the sides in the 70s, 80s and maybe the early 90s played aggressive cricket. But it wasn't kamikaze cricket. It was aggressive. You have people like Graham Gooch at the top of the order. You've got people like Gower, Lamb in our side. And look at the Australians, players they had. Matthew Hayden didn't block it too often.
No.
But he scored lots of runs. And I just think that get yourself in, give yourself a chance. There are occasions when you maybe have to take the challenge up earlier than you want, but to be honest with you, you need selection, and I say selection, it's selection of deliveries. You do not have to play at every ball. If you are playing at every ball, a bowler gets very excited.
Yes.
And that's what we saw in Australia.
Do you think Ben Stokes will come back?
I don't see how he can. If I'm honest, I don't see. Look, you don't make a decision like that, which I thought was weird, in the middle of a test.
Timing, yes.
So, anyway, we've got a book coming out in October. I guess I'll send you one you can read all about it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Have you written it yourself?
Actually, no, I've been involved very much with this one. I know it's surprising you. I think they call it AI, don't they?
Yeah. I hope there's a spell checker gone through it.
Oh, definitely.
Lauren, were you always into cricket?
I love all sports.
Yeah.
But I remember 1981 when I was nearly 13, and it was very, very impressionable, especially him. And what you were saying about the, back in those days, you'd wait for Chris Tavare to get out for absolutely ages.
Yes,
I just wanted to see Ian come in at number 6, and it just wanted us to get out. But they played sort of more. I think you can afford to have somebody like him going crazy, but maybe not every player.
Yeah. You're not going to miss this then. This is kind of closes that chapter.
I don't think I'm going to miss this day. No, I am going to miss other things, but we'll just have to find some other things to remember Bob by.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, there's so many great memories. You could sit here for a year every day and having a different toast for Bob Willis.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of person he was. You don't see the generosity, the time he gave to people. He didn't suffer fools, but nor should he. And but no, he a remarkable man, and everything that's been done here for him is great. The support they've had, and it's a great cause, and it's making a difference, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, and always a pleasure catching up with you. We don't do it enough, but you're always welcome to come and see us. You know that. Ian.
Okay, thank you.
Lauren, it's lovely to see you. Always a very poignant day. I mean, always only sadly seem to catch up on this day.
But thank you so much to the BBC for your support. It's amazing.
It's no problem. Well, I hope that then once this is done, that we can meet up in genuinely easygoing circumstances. But it's lovely to see you, Lauren, and well done for all that you have done. It's been a fantastic achievement. Thank you.